If you're ready, go ahead and lay all the way back. Let the body start to relax. Let some breath start to flow. Imagine your next inhale gathers up any sorts of stress, tension, whatever's going on in your life. And exhale gives you a chance to release it. It's nice and easy, very comfortable. So as we're getting started here, the word that we can include for our practice today is lubrication. So our joints are, most of them have something called synovial fluid. And that fluid is what helps to keep our joints healthy. It gives them the nutrients that they need. Think of it like a squeaky door, that just adding that little tiny bit of oil suddenly changes it. Instead of it being a nuisance every single time you open and close the door, now it gets to the point where you don't even have to think about it. It's just a door, it functions as a door. And so we'll be doing different things today that get a lot of our major joints to move around, our ankles, our hips, our shoulders, our neck, all sorts of goodies, so that we can kind of just envision that we're lubricating. It's like we're adding oil to all these different areas of our body so that everything moves just a little bit better today when we leave than when we came. And so that's the visualization we can take on. Imagine it like a little top off of the oil in our car. Just makes it so the engine doesn't have issues. It runs smoothly like it's supposed to. And so with that visualization, to get us started, let's start to take knees into the chest. Start to add movement already, whatever that feels like, whether it's direct rocking left and right, whether it's more of a circular kind of hugging and rocking, whatever's working for a moment, give it some time. And we'll start to release left leg to floor, hands clasp around right knee. We'll give that right knee a couple of chances to get pulled into different angles. So the first angle is just directly back as we're doing right now. Give it a breath or two. And then let's pull the right knee closer to left shoulder. It won't be able to go very far in that direction. It's only like an inch or so, but I love how it starts to get a little bit of spaciousness through the outer part of that right knee. Give that spot a breath or two. Allow this right knee to go as wide to the right as feels good. Leave another part of the hip open. That femur connection right up to it. And then let's take the knee all the way across the body into a twist. Let the spine start to have a chance to open, hips feeling nice. Imagine the breath, instead of necessarily being dry air that kind of dries out our joints or whatever, imagine that the breath is more like the circulation aspect of it, where it's just helping to lubricate the whole system. Just breathing calm and slow. One more breath for the twist. Huge inhale. Nice exhale. When the hip returns back to ground, let that right leg straighten up to sky. We're going to do 5 little bicycles just to get some motion back into this leg. So just the right leg, straight leg lowers down to ground. Once you're there, the knee bends back in. Straight leg up to sky. Lower that to ground. Knee into chest. Take another 3. Choose the rate that feels good. Eventually onto 2. And 1. As it drops all the way down, start to switch sides. Left knee comes in, give it the hug. The first hug is directly to the shoulder, to the left shoulder. And into the stuff that's being aided by this. Next angle is left knee toward right shoulder. It doesn't go super far this angle, but imagine it's kind of like the Tin Man in Wizard of Oz. It's like we moved a little bit and then squirt some of the oil right into that joint. And then the things get moving just a little bit better. So one more breath right here. And then let that knee go as wide as it'll go to left. Crossing knee over the body, full body twist. Notice the active breathing. Feel how it massages that hip right in and right out of the twist. So one more huge cycle. Good. As we release, return hip to ground, left leg straight up to sky. And those 5 bicycles at your own rate. Eventually lower it down. Knee into chest, extending up. Good. Heading to floor eventually. And 3 when you get there. 2. Last one. Foot releases weight to floor. Stretch arms as far back to back wall as they can. Inhale. Exhale, try to do a roll up, coming up to a seated place. If you need to grab thighs to help you out, grab them. Use the floor, whatever you need to. Straight legs in front of us. This first one's not super important about the shape of the spine. Just let the neck and the head kind of easy droop over the legs. Starting to wake up some of the muscles of the back a little bit more. This could be a really good chance to start easing some of the neck tightness out. So it might feel nice to take the right ear rolling over to right shoulder, left ear to left shoulder. And maybe another full cycle or 2 before you settle to stillness in the center. Stillness and center. Give it another huge breath in. Out. And rising up with the spine. Take it into an easy boat pose. It's not so much about the core as it is about floating arms and legs so that the ankles and wrists can have some easy circles. Notice how the circles are going right now. And then switch the direction of all your circles. Good. One more breath. And grab onto ankles, slide them into cobbler. Let the spine tilt just a bit deeper perhaps than a moment ago. The spine lengthens back up. Straighten the left leg forward. The right knee pops upright. We're going to use that knee to help us take a twist. So left hand grabs the knee. Think of the spine going up first with the inhale, and exhale, spiral around that tall stacked spine. Let the neck even be part of the twist. How far is the neck willing to rotate? Feel the muscles of the back opening. Kind of be conscious. How can I lean in certain ways to help those back muscles expand even a little more? So one more huge inhale. Exhale, torso forward. Let that right thigh fall open. Inhale, reach up to sky. This one we do pay attention a bit more to the spine as we release forward. The knees are kind of a fun joint because by stretching the muscles around the knee, that's how we help the knee. The knee's not one, like the hip, you can literally rotate open around the hip. The knee's one, we don't want to struggle anything around it. So by doing different hamstring stretches like this, that's how we help to get that knee lubricated. Before we rise up, let's get into this this left foot just a little bit. 5 cycles, we're going to point the toes as far as we can forward, and then flex the toes as far back as they'll go. Take another 4, back, 3, 2, 1. Good. Spine lifts up. The right knee flips around, trying to work into quad. If the forward angle with the knee is a little too tight, go a little bit wider. We head backwards with our hands, sometimes just a little bit, and you feel that quad a lot. So you don't have to go far. The next elbow, if you're lowering past that, is left, and then maybe right also feels okay, or even going all the way to lay on your back. You choose the depth, but make sure you're not pulling onto that right knee too. That's the indication that just a little bit too much. 2 more breaths. And reverse every step to come back out. Right leg gets to extend straight forward. As the left knee comes in, it's the bent shape that's pointing knee up to sky. Take the twist, right hand grabs the left knee, lengthen spine up. First inhale, and exhale, rotate around. You unwind the spine, left thigh falls open, circle up to sky, inhale, tilt forward, exhale. Right foot points and flex back. 4, 3, 2, 1. Good. Sitting up tall, left knee flips back around for the quad stretch. That's okay, that's okay. As long as you get second side, you're allowed. Okay, aim yourself backwards as far as you need to get the knee stretching. More cycles of breath flows through the body. Good. Progressing up to rise. Let both legs tuck in. We're coming up onto hands and knees. And as we set ourselves up for cat-cow, we're also going to add in the lion's breath. So when you round spine at the side, that's a good inhale. When belly drifts down, stick out the tongue, exhale. Do 4 more. Like this is our way to expel that old fluid. 3. 2 more. And 1. Beautiful. Allow the knees to go just a little bit wider, and let's take a moment with a nice child pose. So the hips are sitting back without using the fingers to walk forward as in puppy pose. So hips stay, see how far the fingertips can expand to that forward space. So it just pulls the muscles of the shoulders and the back a little bit longer. One more breath in, out. The hands walk backwards. If it's comfortable to sit on your heels, take that position. Otherwise, go to high kneeling position. Clasp hands together. And then with the hand clasp, you're wiggling through the wrists. Let the wrist circle all the way around. It's like a big infinity sign that's getting traced in front of you. Keeping hands clasped, flip palms out, lift the hands up, and arch the heart forward as far as feels good. Inhale. Exhale, release the clasp. Hands can come to floor. Let's take it up to downward facing dog. Add some wiggles to the legs and ankles. Sometimes there's still snap, crackles, pops that are working their way out. That's part of that lubrication process. You feel ready, sooner or later, maybe another breath or two. Eventually, you're welcome to make your way up to top of that. And up at the top, let's slide our hands into our elbow creases. As we bend the right knee, sway the upper body to the right. And then bending left knee, sway to the left. Go twice more each. Gentle movement to add some mobility to the spine, to the hips. Returning to stillness in the center, use a huge inhale to circle up to sky. Take a little tiny back bend. Hands down to heart. Take your right hand to right thigh. Circle left hand up to sky. Reach over. Pull that shoulder. Like little oil squirt. Rising up. Second side. Good. Rising up. Now for left ankle, we're going to take a calf stretch. So plant the left heel in front of you. Right is behind. The right knee can bend. As we lean forward, you'll have to play with what you need to do to feel the left calf stretching. So sometimes I'll grab my toes and pull the toes toward me. Some days it's more about how far I can lean forward into it. So whatever you need to do to help left calf get a moment, give it a couple of breaths. As we rise the spine up, we're balancing on right foot, that left foot, and the wrists. Do a couple of circles. Balancing like a queen. Good. Let's switch sides. Now it's the right calf that's getting prepared to stretch. Lean forward, maybe grab toes or lean belly closer, whatever gets you into the stretch. One more breath goes in, out, rising up. We're balancing with right ankle and the wrist rolling. Make sure you get at least a couple of circles to each direction. Good. Dropping down. Let's circle arms up to sky. Inhale. Exhale, forward fold. Nice, easy half lift. As fingers drop back down, just the right foot slides to back of mat. Drop the knee down. So think of this just as much about the legs as it is about the cat-cow exaggeration in the spine. So as the hands walk forward, think of the heart taking that cow shape, trying to drop the belly down as much as you can. And then when we shift back to half splits, we're rounding up like the cat. So let's take another 4, cow, and cat, 3, 2, last one. Stay in the half split just a little bit longer. We start to get that left foot to slide to the left side of us. Come up high. We're going to do 3 little side lunges to that side. So slide the foot in enough, the knees just a little bit bent, and then shift your weight to that left side. 3, and back upright. 2, 1 more. Good, left leg to straightness. Slide left hand down, right hand up to sky, circle over. The right thumb pulls backwards just a little bit, opening the shoulder and chest just slightly different. Inhale, and then exhale, drop Drop right hand and then left to floor, even lower to elbows. If you want even more, inch your elbows closer to left leg. Hands come back to planting the under shoulders. That left foot circled the back of that and then float. The right arm either just plays with floating off to the right or hand and foot connect behind our back. If you have the connection, try to lift the toes up. Good. Nice inhale. Exhale. Lower hand and foot. Let's go straight to second side. So right foot works its way at the top of mat. This is going to be the cat-cow. So hips sink forward. Drop. Even exaggerated, kind of like a cobra. Good. And then the half split, cat. Round up to sky. And 4. To go back. 3. 2. And 1. Stay in the half splits just a little bit longer. The right foot start to work its way to the right side of us. Come up. At first, the knees just a hair bent. So take that lunge to the right. 3. And back. 2. 1. Straighten the leg. Slide the right hand down. Left hand up to sky. Lean over. That left thumb pulls back just a little bit. And then drop left hand to floor, followed by right. Lower to elbows, maybe inch elbows closer to right leg. Come up to hands. Those right toes circle to the back and then float. Left hand is either playing with lifting off to left or hand and foot connection behind. You have the connection lifted up so the heart gets a slight little arch. Nice inhale. Exhale, release hand and foot. Puppy pose, so hips stay, but arms walk forward, drooping belly to ground, heart to ground. Slide the hands in so that you can press against them, walking you back into child pose. From here, you can choose. Some might choose to stay in child a little bit longer. Some might choose to go to down dog. Some might take even up to 3 of the mini flows if your body's really like, I just need to move around. So that would be the lowering chaturanga to cobra to down dog. So up to you, whatever you'd like to do for a moment here. We're getting satisfied where we're at. Let's make our way up to top of mat, forward fold. Give it a bonus breath. Huge inhale. Exhale. Inhale, rise. Hands down to heart. Shifting weight over to left foot. We're balancing on that side. The right knee rotates open for tree. Choose how high you're climbing, up to ankle, calf, or thigh. I'll give you an option if balance it wants to be played around with today. You don't have to take this. So the option would be the lower body, hips, everything is stay still, but the arms open out left and right. And then we sway like an ocean wave. Sway over to right, and over to left. If you're doing that, maybe 2 more each. Good. Moment to extend up to sky. Touch hands together, hands to heart. Take the right leg back, warrior 3. Soft land, warrior 1. Forearms touch together. And then inhale, open out like football goalposts. Exhale, 4. 3. 2. 1. Circle back up to sky with arms. Take hands to hips, straighten front leg. Trying to keep the hips squared forward. Droop down into pyramid. Maybe hands at shins or floor. Even blocks. We bend the front knee again, the knee stacking over ankle. Sweep arms back up to sky, warrior 1. Inhale. Exhale, warrior 2. Clasp hands behind back. Hands to right hip, right ear to right shoulder. And head up. Hands to left hip. Left ear to left shoulder. Head up. Leave the hands clasped as we turn our toes to the long edge of the mat. The hands are by the sacrum and then they're drooping down toward tailbone. Heart lifts up to sky. The knees can take as much of a bent shape as you need to. Droop the arms into the shoulder stretch behind you as you go to the wide angle forward fold. The hands you can leave there for a while or at any point droop them down to floor. Taking hands to elbow creases. Bend the right knee, sway a little bit to the right with the upper body. Bend the left knee, sway a little bit to the left. And a few rounds each side. One more each perhaps. And then release hands, bend the knees, roll our way upright. We can heel toe the feet together. And step our way back up to top of mat. This time standing on right, the left knee comes open for tree. Maybe balance is a little iffy on this side, who knows? Maybe we can stay stable, starting to open arms left and right. If you want to try the swaying up to 3 cycles, to each side rotating, imagining that it's like that ocean wave trying to lubricate the spine itself. Extending arms up to the sky, touch palms together, hands to heart. Take the left leg back, warrior 3. Landing warrior 1, sweep up to sky. Forearms touch. Inhale, open. 4, 3, 2, and 1. Good. Circle back up to sky. Hands to hips, straighten front leg, forward pyramid. Inhale, exhale, knee stacks over ankles, sweep across the sky, inhale, exhale, warrior 2, clasp hands behind back, hands to left hip, left ear to left shoulder, and head up, hands to right hip, right ear to right shoulder. Good, back up. Leave the hands clasped, turn the toes to the long edge. Drop the hands down toward tailbone, heart lifts up to sky. Bend to the knees as you droop down. Maybe this time, from this arms behind us position, we bend the right knee a little bit and tilt the hands just a little bit to right. And bend left knee a little bit, tilt to left. Maybe a cycle or 2 more to each side. Knowing that you have permission to release clasp of hands at any point that you like. With hands to floor, we'll take a slight side lunge. So this can either be a small bend to right knee or sit right glute all the way to the heel. You can either play with balance here if you'd like, or you can play with drooping elbows, trying to get them closer to ground. Whatever feels better for a moment. Good. Straighten up through this side and bent left leg. Beautiful. Back up through center. Walk the feet backwards off the mat. We're going to prepare for frog pose. So if you're using a blanket, maybe you open up your blanket a bit wider. If not, maybe you're folding the 2 edges of your mat in. That way it just sets up a little bit of padding for frog. We end up with the inner knees set down onto ground. Use mirror to help you see that hips are in line with knees. And from there you can lower down to elbows. Inner thigh stretching open as wide as possible. Occasionally there's people that can widen elbows, even drooping heart down to ground. But if that makes it so hips needed to shift away from that aligned place, don't take it. With head, sometimes I'll rest my chin down. Sometimes I'll rest my forehead down to my palms. If it feels like your feet are free enough to do flexing and pointing 5 times, let's do that. So flex and point 5. Here's 4, 3, 2, 1. Good. You have 2 ways you can come out of this. You can either slither forward, belly to floor, and then do some windshield wipers with the legs, or tuck the toes in, walk the hands backwards to child, and just rest the head down onto the bar. So let's start to get the mat back open if you folded it. We'll be joining on hands and knees, facing forward. Then we're going to go into a nice wrist stretch. So we'll start with right hand. The right fingers rotate to the right. Some people have a lot of wrist issues and you can only stay kind of pointed to the side. Some people can take it all the way, fingers pointed to the knee. So just go up to the comfort level. If you get here and you really don't feel enough wrist stretch, you sink the hips backwards any amount to get deep. Gently lift up the right wrist, open and close palms a couple of times. And then back of wrist stretch. So the back of the palm touches down, fingers trying to point to the knee. Again, if you need more, sink the hips back any amount. Again, pick it up. You can open and close or maybe shake it out. Before we switch sides, reach right arm up to sky. Spread the right shoulder all the way down to ground. Left hand can reach up to top of mat or wind around low back, your preference. Hand slides in front of face, press into it. For neutral kneeling, let's take a cat and a cow. Neutral spine, left wrist stretch. Rotate fingers as far backwards as they'd like to go. Maybe hips send their way backwards. Good. Picking it up, open and close a couple of times. Okay, backs of hand down. Maybe hips sink backwards. Good. it. So lifting up, open and close, or maybe even shake it out this time. And then left hand reaches up to sky. Thread the shoulder all the way through. Right hand gets the choice this time. Reach to top of mat or wind around low back. Inhale. Exhale. Right hand in front of face, press into it. Cat. Cow. Brief downward facing dog, lift up to sky. I'll take a right leg pigeon pose. So if you'd like to kick right leg up to sky first, that's fine. Send right leg under and through. Play with your variation. It's just a short time here today. Maybe stay with the back bend or maybe go down to sleeping pigeon. Nice inhale. Exhale. Plant the hands underneath us. Tuck back toes, downward facing dog. Couple of wiggles for knees and hips. Perhaps left leg floats to send it through pigeon. And maybe the back bend for a little while, maybe straight to sleeping. More deep belly breaths. Setting up for last down dog. Last chance to reach legs up to sky. Hips reaching high. Lowering to knees, a huge hip circle clockwise and counterclockwise. Hips trace as far as it can go around. And then reverse. Good. When you finish the second direction, come to easy cross-legged seated position. And a last little stretch for the shoulders as we're wrapping up the neck area. So stacking spine nice and tall. Let the right ear start to drop over right shoulder. Maybe left fingers extend out to left side. Maybe right hand rest on top ear. Right hand releases such that the head can do a semicircle, rocking head over to left ear and back to right. Head floats back up. Good, one more side, left ear over left shoulder. Maybe right fingers float. Maybe left hand rests on top ear. And if left hand is up, release so that you can do the semicircle, roll into right ear, over right shoulder, and back to left. Good. Head back up tall, fingers on shoulders. Just a couple of easy spinal twists left and right. Imagining this is one last little gift to the spine, helping to lubricate it the whole way up and down. One more huge breath flows in and out. Good. There's less wiggles you need to get into any of those other joints. Go right ahead. When you feel ready for Shavasana sooner or later, that's eventually where we're headed. No rush to get there, only when you feel ready. Zero rush to be in Shavasana if you're still wiggling. When you're there, imagine the breath only helps to kind of top off the whole system, top off the oil. The breath is connected with the heart, making the heart speed up or slow down. So in this case, take a slow, relaxed breath. And as the heart slows, imagine it's like a beautiful gift to all these joints of the body, feeding them that delicious synovial fluid, joints feeling good, whole, mobile. All it takes is that deep, slow breath. Here, begin to deepen the inhales. The exhales. Introducing little movements back to fingers and toes. Ankles and wrists. Stretching out in ways that feel really good. At some point, it might feel nice to take a fetal position off to one side. If you'd like that, go ahead and roll over. Try a few bonus breaths here. Just easy, deep cycles flowing in and out. Get to a comfortable seated place when you feel ready. Tuning into the body. Feel how lubricated, how prepared the body is to meet all the fun challenges that are going to be ahead of us over the coming day, week, month. And with this level of preparedness, this calmness, this kind of lubrication that we're ready no matter what comes at us, with that attitude to lead us forward, let's wrap up the time that we got to share together with the sound of Om. Deep inhale now. May we be filled with light, happiness, and peace. Namaste.